Council's use of simulation to assess overseas graduates wanting to come and work here in Australia really is an innovation that hasn't been replicated in any other healthcare field that I'm aware of to date, both within Australia or globally. So really that puts the Council as an innovator on the global stage for the use of simulation. And we think this is a good thing because not only has it been successful for our waitlist initiative and getting our graduates through the system in a more satisfied and more timely manner, but it's also been done in a robust manner. So I think it's going to stand up well to both local and international scrutiny, and I'd suggest will be a model that others will look to replicate around the world.
I'm particularly proud of the work that we've done in simulation because I think we're leading the way in that field, more so than any other profession in Australia and physiotherapy at the rest of the world. So I think what we've created here in terms of simulation for assessment is really, really powerful.
I really see that APC has tried to be a thought leader in this space, doing a lot of work in the research around the use of simulation in training and assessment, and pushing the boundaries around that and being really recognised, not just in Australia, but internationally as a thought leader and a world leader when it comes to simulation and the research around that too.
To be looking at a state-of-the-art sim lab that allows us to evaluate our overseas qualified physiotherapists, standardising it, ensuring that there's parity of assessment, filming to ensure if there's any concerns that it can be evaluated by independent parties is world class, something that isn't happening to my knowledge anywhere else in the world with respect to physiotherapy, and we're certainly up there with occupational therapy and nursing in terms of using it, not just for undergraduate students within Australia, but the assessment of overseas qualified physios.
I think in another 12 months, from the Council's perspective, the use of simulation will be standard practice. It will be business as usual for us. It will be the default way of assessing graduates from overseas countries wanting to come and work here in Australia. And I suspect that given the success of our trial, that other professions will be starting to look to our model and implementing that more broadly, which gives us confidence that we chose the right path. And certainly our conversations with both national and international stakeholders would suggest that others are seriously looking at the success of our model.
I think culturally we've changed from being an organisation that's perceived as a regulator to something that's perceived as facilitates growth in people and in organisations. And I think that's an amazing achievement that the CEO and the Board of Directors have managed to achieve in the last 2 to 3 years.
I'm really proud about that very strong cultural shift that they've undertaken. It's been quite an immense piece of work for APC on the whole. And the key thing for that is around the creation of the village that I found really quite empowering and very warm and welcoming when I first started as a director here at APC. And for me, that village concept is very much around being part of a family, that sense of belonging. And the village encompasses not just the employees, but also the contractors, the affiliates and the board as well. And we are very much a large family, and that's why I really like that terminology of the village itself, because it really brings us together so we're all united and holistic as a large family or as a large village and community itself. Having that sense of belonging then breeds that sense of authenticity and allows people to be themselves, to express their own viewpoints, but at the same time having that aligned vision, that aligned focus, you're all aligned to the core common goals and vision and mission of the organisation. And I think that's been a great moment and a great thing that I'm really proud about with APC itself.
The cultural change within the APC has been quite profound. You have to have the cultural change occur at both governance and operational level. There has to be a desire, then there has to be the team that drive it. And you have to have that goodwill and that encouragement of board. So that governance and operational staff are together working on that cultural change is again very remarkable, and that's been a great thing to see.
The cultural change the organisation has been through is unrivaled. We've gone from being seen to be a negative, barrier, unfriendly organisation to now someone who is open to change, listening actively and being a partner in the journey of a necessary part of healthcare regulation.
The APC is innovative because we're looking forward and we're looking for new directions. We're not just staying in one spot.
At the moment we're working in the physiotherapy space, but I see a lot of the work that we're doing in stimulation, in innovation, and in a number of the other channels and avenues that APC is working on has broader implications, not just for the healthcare sector and not just for physio, but more broadly across society and across a number of other sectors as well. So I think APC has a strong role to play as that catalyst for change across the larger society as a whole.
One of the other things I'm proud about with the organisation and the board that I'm overseeing at the moment is that we are open to innovation in all facets of the business. Yes, a lot of the focus is on the simulation project at the moment, but everything is up for grabs. And being open to innovation and having that culture where change is expected and you don't just do business as usual because that's the way we do things, if there is a better way to be considered.
The change in the APC's position within the physiotherapy community in Australia and in the world is something I'm extremely proud of. To see that we are considered thought leaders and brains trust at both operational and board level is a really great feat in a remarkably short period of time.
So I have a lot of hopes and dreams for the council. I could wax lyrically on this forever, but I guess the main hopes and dreams that I have around the council are never ceasing that unwavering commitment to innovation. I think that's one of our strongest assets and the greatest things that we have with the organisation, and that should always be an unwavering thing that we never cease to do.
My hope would be that we continue to do what we're doing now, and we think big and we don't shy away from, breaking down some myths and barriers that sort of seem to exist over time. And I think if we do that whilst maintaining, the standards that we have, we can do really good things.
What are my hopes and dreams for the council? To continue to be a leader in physiotherapy in Australia, but to look globally and to be able to engage in change culturally in physiotherapy education, professional development and practice.
What I hope to be a legacy from my time with the organisation is that we continue the journey to evolve and change to be really a valued and trusted partner in the profession. We're on that journey, we're being very successful so far, but I think it's still work and we want to get to the point where it's not so much a conscious thing, that it is just who we are and it's who we're seen to be. An engaging, a friendly, a innovative organisation that has people at its heart and its soul.